People lose money all the time, but on the surface, these celebrities really should be rich, right? Well, welcome to Beyond the Screen. I'm Nate, and these are 10 celebrities that you didn't know are completely broke. Number 10, Brendan Fraser. Canadian treasure, Brendan Fraser got his big break after auditioning for a film in his early 20s as a way to make some money before going off to college. And he never made it to school. Instead, he was picked up by an agent launching his career. Brendan appeared in several blockbuster hits between 1990 and 2015, like Journey to the Center of the Earth, The Mummy, and of course, my personal favorite, Looney Tunes Back in Action. This is a great movie. It's so unhinged. They really got to give it more, it needs to be in theaters again. Suddenly, around the mid-2010s, Brendan appeared to vanish from Hollywood entirely and only appeared in small roles in indie flicks or on TV shows, like when he played Robot Man in DC's Doom Patrol. As we now know, Brendan's seclusion was the result of poor mental health following an altercation with the former president of the Hollywood Foreign Press, Philip Burke, in which Burke touched Brendan inappropriately and without consent. This, on top of a lengthy divorce, left Brendan penniless and depressed. Thankfully, though, this story does have a happy ending, as not only did he begin speaking out publicly about his experience, but thanks to his success and acceptance from the world, he was asked to audition for the role of Charlie in the Oscar-nominated movie The Whale, where he won an award for Best Actor in a Leading Role. I actually just saw that movie not long ago, and I think he deserved that Oscar 100%. Here's hoping that this is just the beginning of the next chapter in his Hollywood career, and that he'll make some of that money back. Number 9, Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin's been scaring kids and yelling about cookies since the late 1980s, starring in multiple critically acclaimed films like Beetlejuice, Hunt for Red October, and Glengarry Glen Ross. Now, over the past couple of years, Alec has been working on a little movie called Rust that hasn't been able to reveal a lot about its plot because of the situation surrounding Alec and one of its cinematographers, Helena Hutchins, because her life was accidentally taken from her after a prop pew-pew was used on set by Alec that contained live rounds instead of blanks like most props do. After a lengthy court battle, it was determined that Alec and the prop master Hannah Reed would be charged with involuntary manslaughter. While the prop master pleaded guilty and accepted the charges, Alec fought back and was in a highly expensive and lengthy court battle that left him with just under $3 million. That means he's poor for some reason. Thankfully for him, the court recently informed him that the charges were going to be dropped, and the situation prompted a discourse on occupational safety in the film industry and the treatment of its employees and the use of real fire pew-pews as props on set. He is being sued again, but that's only going to put him further into the hole that he's already in. Number 8, Nicolas Cage. Nick is just one of those celebrities that you can't put your finger on. Is he good? Is he bad? Is he actually a vampire? Probably. The answer to these questions will be debated until the end of time. At one point in his career, the answer seemed to be he's good, as in 2009 alone, he made over $40 million, starring in the crime drama Bad Lieutenant and the hit sci-fi thriller Knowing, alongside Rose Byrne and Liam Hemsworth. Nick's tale of woe is self-inflicted, as this man took every penny he made and used it for fun stuff. He bought horses, mansions, cars, even rare historical artifacts that surprisingly don't include the Declaration of Independence, because that would be too on the nose. Unless he stole it and didn't tell anybody about it, because that would make sense. By the end of the 2000s, Nick saw no money in his pocket, and he was forced to sell several of his shiny new things that he had just purchased, and he actually owes the IRS over $6 million. His career is still going strong and has even begun to take a tick upward. The critical success of the new dark comedy Renfield, in which he plays the Prince of Darkness himself, Dracula, not to mention the 10 other movies that are coming out this year. But despite that work, he has taken a significant pay decrease and he has remained in the red this day. Number 7, Lonnie Willison. Lonnie was a model in the early 2000s, appearing on the cover of several health and fitness magazines like Glam Fit, Flavor, and Iron Man, not the movie. In 2018, she was spotted living on the streets of LA after years of being hidden from the public eye following her divorced former Baywatch star, Jeremy Jackson. Lonnie alleges that an altercation took place one night when they had been indulging in some adult beverages, in which Jackson attempted to lay his hands on Lonnie. The violent altercation left her shaken and in need of somewhere to go. Unfortunately, the divorce from Jackson left her with basically nothing, which seems to have forced her to live on the streets and scrounge for food. Recent photos show Lonnie with bruises on her hands from rummaging all day, and she is unrecognizable in her attire. Thankfully, some justice was delivered when Jackson was kicked off of Celebrity Big Brother for exposing a fellow housemate's bare chest to the cameras. Subsequently, he was cancelled by the entirety of the UK and is out of work for the rest of his life. Here is hoping that this gives Lonnie the hope to break out of her situation and return to that glam fit status. Number 6, Mel B. Spice up your life and check out this next entry. Mel B is just one of the 5 women responsible for creating some of the most iconic pop songs of all time that we still love to dance to the moment they come on our speaker. The Spice Girls were a popular singing group from the UK formed in the early 90s, and they quickly rose to fame with hits like Wannabe, Spice Up Your Life, and Say You'll Be There. You would think with all of that fame, there would certainly come fortune, right? Well, we've got one word for you: divorce. She accumulated a massive net worth during her time with the crew. Unfortunately, the majority of that cash vanished when she was married to film producer Stephen Belafonte from 2007 to 2017. Final blow came when Mel officially cracked and filed for a divorce, and in court her husband blamed Mel for the financial loss due to her extravagant and affluent lifestyle. Hey man, she's a Spice Girl. She's allowed to spend her money however she wants. Get back behind your desk and zip it. Her Spice Girl earnings originally sat around $50 million, but currently she's sitting closer to $6 million. It's still a lot of money, but it's certainly not what it could be, and honestly should be. Number 5, Billy Joel. He sung us a song as the Piano Man, and his brother stole all of his cash. Billy Joel is a world-famous musician behind some songs that are considered to be the greatest of all time. With hits like We Didn't Start the Fire and Piano Man, he has surely serenaded your heart over and over again, but despite his massive success, Billy's financial woes have been vast for a majority of his career. He's been forced to filed for bankruptcy over 3 times throughout his life. While early on the issue stemmed from multiple messy divorces in which his personal funds were just essentially vacuumed away from him, his brother-in-law mismanaged his funds and stole money from Joel. All said and done, he ended up owing $9 million in fees and payments that resulted in him being forced to go on a world tour. Okay, he was forced to travel the world and sing for his fans. That sounds awful. Take my money. Number 4, Mike Tyson. In 1997, Mike Tyson stepped into the ring with fellow heavyweight boxer Evander Holyfield. Two partook in a legendary battle that left Holyfield the champion and missing a part of his ear. That's because Mike had bitten it off in the middle of the fight completely out of nowhere. This was the first of many times that Mike would make headlines as his antics outside of the ring began to overshadow his skills as a fighter. Mike is just another man who made millions and wasted all of it having a good time really fast. At one point his net worth was like $400 million, but he spent it all because he struggled with impulse control issues and spent his money on whatever caught his eye, including a gold chain for which he spent $173,000 on it in Las Vegas. His spending habits eventually left him with $23 million in credit card debt and taxes, forcing him to file for bankruptcy. Eventually he was able to scrape together some cash, and now he sits at a comfortable $10 million, which for some reason classifies him as poor, but hey, give me some of that money, man. Number 3, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay is a jack of all trades. She acts, sings, dances, writes, and she's even the queen of her own business empire. Despite all this though, the former Disney star and Hollywood bad girl has a net worth of around $500,000. Why? Well, apparently she loves to take nice, long vacations. Constantly. Lohan was almost forced to declare bankruptcy a few years ago. As we all know, she fell out of the mainstream and started a very public battle with substance control. This left Lindsay in the low 6-figure range, which somehow again makes her poor. Like, hey man, I barely have $5 on a good day. Eventually she entered rehabilitation and kicked her bad habits right into oncoming traffic, and it wasn't until she posed for Playboy and opened up about her life on Oprah Winfrey's talk show that her finances started to stabilize and her career is slowly on the rise again. Here is hoping that a Freaky Friday sequel is on its way. Number 2, Kanye West. Kanye is our go-to guy when it comes to controversial, universally despised celebrities and now poor people. Before 2020, Kanye was on the rise and he became a full-fledged billionaire thanks to his multiple businesses and successful music career. But things quickly took a turn for the worst when he basically had a mental breakdown on Twitter. He posted a series of homophobic and racially fueled tweets aimed at several orientations and races that left Kanye beyond broke. He was dropped by all clothing and shoe brands that carried his products like The Gap, Balenciaga, and of course Adidas, the heaviest of the blows. This combined with his production company putting a pause on any musical projects that he may have been undertaking caused him to go from being in the billions to the low hundred thousands in one single tweet. And of course, taking the top spot, number 1, Donald Trump. The former president and human trash bag, Donald Trump, was recently returned to the news cycle in the best way possible because a little while back, following a long and strenuous investigation, it was revealed that Donnie was guilty of 37 counts of falsifying business documents and paying off his enemies to keep silent about his misdeeds. He paid Stormy Daniels to stay quiet about an affair. He paid off lawyers, reporters, so many people, getting so much money from a man who was once considered to be the wealthiest real estate mogul in the entire United States. Well, Donnie didn't have a never-ending supply of cash and has officially gone bankrupt due to the court proceedings and fees that he is surely facing at the moment. Now, while it's not official just yet, Don has been teetering between broke and well off since he was kicked out of the office. Hey, good luck in prison, Donnie. Invest in a cup of soup. It's a really hot commodity in there. Those are the celebrities that went broke overnight. Did we miss anybody? Let us know in the comments below. And if you stuck around to the end of this video, I just want to say, hey, thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. If you enjoy our content, please just judo chop that like button and to subscribe to the channel to see more every day. Hope the rest of your day is awesome. Thank you for stopping beyond the screen. See you next time.